Whether we realize it or not, AI is making huge decisions about our lives every single day. Think about it. That loan you applied for, the job you're trying to land? Yep, AI's got its digital hands in there. But who's watching the watcher? Who's making sure it's all playing fair?
And that is a huge question, right? I mean, when some piece of code can literally change the entire course of your life, who holds it accountable? Who's the sheriff in this kind of new digital Wild West, making sure there's actually justice?
Because look, when this stuff runs unchecked, the risks are very real. We're not talking about hypotheticals. We're talking about you getting turned down for a loan or a job for reasons you can't even understand. We're getting biased healthcare advice, or having your privacy just gone. And the worst part, a lot of the time, there's no transparency, no way to appeal. This isn't some sci-fi movie. This is happening right now.
Okay, so who is this sheriff? Well, turns out a whole new type of expert is stepping up to handle this exact problem. So let's meet the hero of our story today, the AI Compliance Officer.
All right, here it is, the California Certified AI Compliance Officer. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so we'll just call it CCAICO for short. Now, this isn't your typical IT person, and it's not just a lawyer either. A CCAICO is something totally new. They're a multidisciplinary expert, someone trained to stand right at that crazy intersection where technology, law, and ethics all smash together. The best way to think about it is like a bridge, a really, really important bridge. On one side of the canyon, you've got the super complex, fast-moving world of AI tech. On the other side, you've got all these strict laws and regulations, and us, the actual people whose lives are affected. The CCAICO is that person standing right in the middle of the bridge, making sure the two sides connect safely and ethically.
And man, the amount of stuff they need to know is just staggering. They have to be absolute masters of California's specific AI laws, but also the big privacy laws like CCPA and HIPAA. And of course, the super important anti-discrimination laws. Their whole job is to take all these different legal and ethical threads and weave them together into one solid plan for managing AI.
So how do they actually pull this off? Well, it's not like they're just making it up as they go. A real pro, an AI compliance officer, has a system, a clear 5-step plan. Let's dig into what that process actually looks like.
The whole point here is to tame what everyone's been calling the Wild West of AI. And this isn't some one-time checklist you just tick off and forget about. No way. This is a living, breathing process, a continuous cycle that's always adapting as the tech changes and the laws evolve. Compliance isn't a destination, it's a constant journey.
And here's what that loop looks like. It all starts with step 1, assess. You got to figure out what AI you even have and what the risks are. Then, 2, you develop policies. You write the actual rulebook. Step 3 is crucial, training. You have to teach everyone in the company what their role is. Then you're constantly auditing and testing. That's 4, making sure the AI is doing what it's supposed to. And finally, step 5, update. As soon as the tech or the laws change, you go back and revise the whole plan. It's a circle, see? It never stops.
Okay, so that's the plan. But what about the tools? What's actually in the CCAICO's toolkit to make all this happen? Okay, this is where it gets really cool. They're basically using AI to help manage AI. It's like fighting fire with fire, but in a good way. They use tools like Perplexity AI to keep up with the ridiculously fast-changing laws and tech. And then they use other tools like Notebook LM to model different what-if scenarios and make sure all the complicated rules line up. These are not your grandfather's compliance officers, that's for sure.
But it's not all high-tech gadgets. They also rely on good old-fashioned, but super important documentation. We're talking AI risk assessments, governance manuals, bias audit checklists. This stuff creates a critical paper trail. And it's not just busy work. This is the proof. It's the audit-ready, legally defensible record that shows an organization is actually taking this seriously. It's how you show your work, not just to the government, but to all of us.
And when you put it all together, the change is just night and day. Before a CCAICO, you've got all these hidden risks. After, they're managed. Before, you have potential bias lurking in the system. After, it's audited for fairness. You go from total regulatory chaos to actual legal compliance. But the biggest one, you go from people not trusting you to having proof, demonstrable trust, and that right there is the whole ball game.
Okay, let's bring this home. Why should any of this matter to you? I mean, who really cares about some corporate job title, right? What does this actually mean for us, out here in the real world?
Well, because this is so much more than a job title. This role, it's a safeguard for society. The work they do inside a hospital or a bank or even a nonprofit, that work directly protects our communities. It protects our data. It protects our rights. You can think of them as the human conscience that we're building into the machine, making sure that technology serves us and not the other way around.
And this quote, it just nails the ultimate mission perfectly. It's all about building trusted AI governance cultures and fostering equitable outcomes for vulnerable populations. I mean, that's what it all comes down to, right? Protecting people. So that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. As AI gets more and more powerful, as it weaves itself into every part of our lives, who are we going to trust to be its conscience?